I'm not going to go the weekend up here.
Alright, so I'm Iggy. Fur will be here in a little bit. You came here for Improv workshop, so I hope you're ready to get up here and have fun, booze line style. But we're going to focus a little bit more on sort of the tenets of improv. And it's basically, has anyone never done improv ever before at all? You haven't ever? Alright, cool.
I know that about myself.
I tried. That's all I can say. I do. So there's a lot of there's different types of it. Some people that are in theater it's not necessarily about being funny. It's about just being able to keep things moving if something gets forgotten or whatever. There's a whole bunch of different things we can get into. So feel free to ask questions. We're going to kind of focus more on the funny side of things because later today, I believe at 6 o'clock over in Maine is Whose Line Is It Anyway? It's the audience participation show. By all means, go and participate and have a wonderful time. And the key thing about this is reducing there's a thing that happens when people get on stage and you're about to go say something on stage and there's something between your brain and your mouth that says, don't say the thing you're about to say. And this panel is about reducing that a little bit. The first thing in improv that you want to keep in mind is that when you're on stage, usually you're working with someone else on stage. The worst thing you can ever do for a scene is just stand there and say nothing. Say something, anything, banana, tomato, fruit. Sometimes it's the same thing, it's house, fire hose, I don't know. But if you say something, your partner can help you out. Potato. Refrigerator.
Why are we talking about produce?
We're in the produce
This
section.
is very productive.
We're lost in the supermarket. That's this panel. Hey,
Careful, that's how Kale
we
started.
have a fursuiter in this panel. So we're going to get to some games that start a little bit easier and focus more on concepts and get into stuff that's more complicated towards the end of the panel. All right, so let's do kind of the first game that focuses on this idea of building a scene. Building scenes, building characters. We're going to play a game called Yes And. And the way Yes And works is there's two ways to do it. It's usually easier if you just say Yes And. You ever want to do that? Where's Fur? So for instance, hey, poker. Get up here. This is how Yes And works.
I'm totally fur. Look, I'm bald. I don't know. Improv.
You got the asshole.
Yes, you're bald. You have cancer. What was that?
I don't know. I'm fur now, apparently.
Oh. Okay. So Yes And is a little bit close to like a 3-line scene, and that's why I'm looking at my notes going. This is dumb what I wrote. These are all notes, and then I wrote all over them. All right. So Yes And for in a 3-line scene example. So I'll say one, you say one, and then I say one. Would be like something like, hey, I like your shoes, and then you'd say something like,
Yes, I like your pants.
okay, well, I'm going to go with the sample that I wrote down.
Okay,
I'm
that
going
might
to go
be a
with the
good
sample that I wrote
idea.
down. So I would say, hey, poker, I like your shoes. And then you'd say, thanks, Sarah. I see you've come to the dance floor prepared. And then I say, well, yes, I have. Hey, they're calling our number. Let's go. Let's get ready.
Oh, okay. I see a little bit more now.
There's a way to do this where you just every line you just say yes and, but that starts to sound really dumb. So I figured we'd try doing it in the 3-line style. So the idea with this is that we're going to have people come up and form 2 lines. So you're going to go up and back and do a 3-line scene. So the first thing you want to keep in mind is you want to establish who the other person is, where you are, what you're doing. So for instance, hey, I like your shoes. That's something to work with. Give a person a name too. You go with any name you want. You don't have to call them by their name or anything. We're improv. And then Poker would have followed up with something like, "Hey, I see you.
You ready to dance?
Yeah, you
dance.
So I guess I
dances.
I am throwing way too many things out at once, and I apologize. So I said, hey, I say, hey, I like your shoes. I'm glad you came to dance prepared. And then you say, hey, yes, I have. You're accepting what the other person gave you, and you're adding a little bit more. Hey, they're calling our number. We're going to go out on the floor, something like that. All right. So with that, we're going to try this. It's going to do something.
It's going to feel horrible.
We'll start. So if you want to participate in this, by all means, feel free to get up here. And the whole thing with improv is we're going to fail a lot. I just failed a lot. I'm explaining how this works. So if you want to come on up, form 2 lines, and we'll just once you've gone, switch to the other end of the room. All right. So we're going to do yes and. So you want to start? Or I want to start?
You can start.
Start. Hey, so I see you got to the con a little bit late. How was registration?
Oh, registration was so long, I was stuck in there for hours and hours, but hey, at least they had pillows this time. Am I right?
I have the story. We're not going there. Hey, you know what? It's getting late. Let's go to the bar.
Okay, what are we going to drink?
We're going to get hammered.
Okay, yes, and what kind of drinks are we getting hammered on?
Jaeger, Irish car bombs.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay.
All right, that's it. So it's put 3-line things. You're going to go to this side. I'm going to this side. So this side's going to start. So the 3-line scene up and back. It's supposed to be quick, just to get you thinking.
This side starts.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, that starts.
Yeah, you start.
Oh man, what a windy day.
I know, right? It must be like hurricane force winds out there.
Oh, I mean, did you see the guy like kite surfing on no water, just in the air?
Yeah, wasn't he like a bat fursuiter and just like, okay, I'm gonna give you a hug?
I thought he was actually a Princess or a Kiki's Delivery Service cosplayer who was really dedicated to his craft.
All right, switch up. Sure.
No, I don't know.
You're supposed to switch lines. Usually in workshops we switch lines because one line's doing something a little bit different. You go ahead and start.
Hey, can you help me find something on the map?
Yeah, sure. Let me just check it out. Yes.
So you've accepted the map. Do something with the map or do something with their character. Give them a name. Do something with the map. Where is this taking us? Is it a treasure map, for instance? Or go ahead and pick something.
See, if you folded it here, you probably could find it a little bit better.
There you go.
Okay, yeah, I see what you're talking about. So I need to go down the hallway, turn left, then turn right immediately and left again.
There you
No,
go.
no, you're looking upside down.
Okay, so the same thing I said.
There you go. Well done. All right, switch lines. Go to Oh, hey, we're here again. So you're going to start this time.
Okay. Doesn't that hurt? Why would someone do that to you? Like, come on, man.
I put on a fur mask.
That explains everything.
There you go.
Be careful when you're wearing your fursuit, kids.
All right, so
Have you seen fur? I'm worried someone kicked him in the leg.
Oh, you missed it? It was horrible. There was blood everywhere and little plastic dinosaurs.
Yeah, I mean, he probably deserved that, right?
I mean, I don't know, but that's what they get for trying to do an animated version of The Lion King.
Oh, switch. All right, last one. Go ahead and start.
Did you see that drone crash into that seagull above the pond earlier?
Yeah, I did. Wasn't that drone someone trying to get a bird's eye view?
Yeah, and I think they're also trying to order cheeseburger with it or something.
That's probably why they crashed.
All right, cool. Well done, everyone. Good job. That's a little bit harder icebreaker one than the ones we kind of start with. So we definitely rose to the challenge there. Let me pick another one that's good to do. You've never done this one with me before, have you? This is
I don't know. Which one is it?
This is
New line.
I don't know. What one are we doing?
New line.
Did you really just do that?
Are you wearing underwear today?
Wouldn't you like to know?
No, I wouldn't.
New line.
Yes, I would.
New question.
Did you not even
Am
know
I
how the
doing
game
number
works?
two?
New pose.
Do you not even know how the game works?
Oh, are we playing questions only?
Why is fur here?
Wasn't he supposed to run this?
Why are you up here then?
What? What is
That's science! This is a game we're doing.
Which game are we playing?
Yes.
Okay, that was questions only. We can do questions only. Do we really want to do questions only? Because we can.
Questions only is a pretty easy icebreaker.
Why shouldn't we?
Let's do one other game first to get us a little bit,
Okay.
to do one other thing. There's one thing I want to preface questions only with is because in improv, the most dangerous thing to do, because we stumbled a couple times with this, where it's very easy in improv to ask a question and not actually add anything to the scene. So for
Yeah.
instance, the worst thing you can do in a scene is we're going to start some improv game or whatever in theater we're doing. What are you doing? I have added absolutely nothing to the scene and I'm making my partner or whoever else I'm on stage with do all of the work. Now, sometimes that's really funny. sometimes it doesn't work at all, and the other person is put on the spot and not ready. Hey, Fur.
Why?
Exactly. Get on up here, Fur. Everyone, please give Fur a round of applause. Your guest of honor.
Hey, what am I doing?
You're going to help me. You're going to help me demonstrate the next game.
Sweet.
We did. We basically did like a 3-line yes and Fur is down. Things are happening. That is an amazing shirt. I love that shirt.
Oh, that's nice.
So the game that we're going to do is called What Are You Doing? So every time we do What Are You Doing, I don't remember how it works. So I'm going to do it. Is there a good warm game that you would like to play? Because we've done What Are You Doing so many times.
I can run What Are You Doing if you need to.
Yeah, get Crimson up here.
Oh, hey, Crimson. How you doing?
Okay.
All right, do you want to explain it?
All right. So, in What Are You Doing? You are going to perform an action. So, the trick is, the other person comes and says, What
are you doing? Oh, let him do the thing. Do the thing. What are you doing? Do the thing.
Preparing for Fur's next injury.
So I'm supposed. Remind me. This is the part I always screw it up. So I'm about.
So now he has to prepare for Fur's next injury. What are you doing?
Shaving my beard. What are you doing?
I'm raising a potato plant.
What are you doing?
Doing my taxes. What are you doing?
I'm going to the bathroom.
What are you doing? Drinking a milkshake. What are you doing?
I'm a goldfish.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Playing in a marching band.
So what are you doing?
Fursuiting.
Okay. Now that everyone understands, the thing that always flubs me up with this game is you're supposed to do the thing that they're saying, right? You're supposed to be doing the action, and when you say "What are you doing?" you say something completely different than what you're currently doing.
Correct.
Okay.
And then that person acts out the action that you have given them.
Yep.
So if I say I'm digging a hole, I do this. And then when they ask, what are you doing? I say, I'm practicing ballet. And then they...
Right.
And then they ask what they're doing. And you go
All
from
right. So this game is about, kind of like we did in the previous game, it's about accepting what your partner gives you and building on it. But we're kind of, we're kind of transitioning and kind of trying to, it's a sort of also come up with anything that's on the top of your head. You always want to be able to say something and not cause the scene to come to a screeching halt. So you want to come up and do this game, come on up and form 2 lines. And we'll do just like we did last time, we'll go through the lines and then swap.
Oh, my best friends. It's like a magical world. Where did we
Hi,
just
Sarah.
walk into? Hi. Hi. Oh.
Come on
Oh,
up.
yeah, I lost
These are the
there.
easy games. This is the easy game. These are the games to get you up and get involved and get ready to do more complicated stuff. All right. You've done something bad with these cards.
I'll be down.
Someone is going to get hurt in this room.
Okay.
Probably.
Probably me.
Oh, probably Fur. All right. All right. Everyone up that wants to be up.
Is
All right.
Fur injured?
Here we go. We're going to do.
Signs
What are you
point to
doing?
Yes.
What are you doing?
Bowling. What are you doing?
Eating a sandwich. What are you doing?
Scoring a goal. What are you doing?
I don't know.
All right, switch. You start. We'll say you.
What are you doing?
I'm running a marathon.
Yeah, I get you.
What are you doing?
Filing taxes.
What are you doing?
I'm drinking water. What are you doing?
Playing with a bouncy ball.
All right, switch up. Hold on.
Which I starts?
You do.
What are you doing?
Eating salad. But what are you doing?
Trying to practice how to draw. What are you doing?
Planning the next FurCon. The theme is Hudsucker Proxy.
That's your audience. I'm just here.
Wait, what are you doing again?
Checking my schedule for next week. What are you doing?
Running a marathon.
All right, switch up.
What are you doing?
Just looking at the sky. Stargazing. What are you doing?
I'm becoming a rain cloud. What are you doing?
I'm working sound effects for the next movie. What are you doing?
I'm trying to raise a pet llama. What are you doing?
I'm preparing my first scene. What are you doing?
Mowing the lawn.
All right, good job. You start.
What are you doing?
Feeling for you. What are you doing?
Getting squirted in the eye with lemon juice. What are you doing?
Trying to go for a call. What are you doing?
Landing a plane. Landing a plane.
Landing a plane?
All right, switch.
I was going to say, sometimes when someone hits a great line, that's where you should end it.
That's when the moderator should end it. That's when you just keep acting. Yeah, but I mean, you guys have both been up twice now, right? You both switched lines. So yeah, you guys finish it off. So go ahead and start.
All right. What are you doing?
Trying to pull out an alien invasion. What are you doing? What are you
Ski
doing?
shooting.
Ski shooting.
What are you doing?
Trying to clean down the barrel of my shotgun.
Awfully
What are you doing?
I'm skinning a potato. What are you doing?
Trying to do my taxes.
Taxes are a theme. Wow.
April 16th. What are you doing?
I am failing really bad at a video game. What are you doing?
Trying not to rage out.
All right. Well done. Have a seat. All right. Is there anything on your list of stuff that I have, or anything we want to do next? And does the audience have any kind of questions? Anything you're kind of thinking about, or I know some people said that was the first improv experience. I don't see any questions. So what should we do next? For what do you think?
Do you do
Doesn't have to necessarily be on this list. These are just some ideas because they're games that people don't typically think of unless they're doing this kind of format.
So we're doing some workshopping exercises, like we're trying to get people to go into improv, kind of stretch their brains in ways that they didn't think about before.
Yeah, and we're kind of on the we're going to try to make it a little bit more complicated now. It's more than just a line or two.
We can screw them up a little bit more.
Sure. It's time to fail, as we say.
Yeah. So whenever I'm doing improv, and for those of you who don't know, I am a classically trained actor. I have a degree, unfortunately.
Yeah. Which I know you went to school.
I once went to school. One of the things that is the trickiest is trying to, in improv, you are trying to cartoon basically what you're doing. One of the things that you're trying to really hard to push across is that you are doing something without doing everything that entails. So for example, if you're saying, I'm answering the phone and it's my mom and she's telling me that I need to come home because it's late, you probably aren't going to pretend to pick up a phone and say, oh, it is my mother and I need to come home late because it is late. You need to express it in as few little, in as little moves as possible. So you probably just get a phone and just go,
The audience will fill in.
yeah,
those
the audience
gaps.
is there to fill in the blanks. That differs from a lot of the traditional acting where you are trying to create this complete, what's that called?
Well, essentially it's drama versus...
No, not persona, the suspension of disbelief. You're trying to create this complete idea where the people on stage all of a sudden believe that no matter what you do, this is completely... because improv drops in and out of that fourth wall so quickly,
It's real, I guess, would be the
it's
the
really
keyword
difficult to try to get that across a lot quicker. So one of the things I do whenever one of the things that our troupe always did to warm up or to try to get people to do that was a game called Film Noir. They do it at Who's Line a lot.
One of my favorite games.
What?
It's one of my favorite games.
Yeah, it's one of the best games because Film Noir, what it does, and we'll explain how the game actually works, but I'm going to explain the thought process behind it first, is that you are directly injecting exposition. You are directly taking away from trying to build characterization in a different way by the way you act or the way you talk, and to specifically say, this is how the plot is going to go, and the character that your partner or whoever else is on there has to immediately react to the way that works from what you just did. It's actually a really easy game to run with that because you don't have to worry about trying to specifically take out a lot of that weird cartooning that I was talking about earlier.
The scene building is less important.
Scene building,
you really just need to worry about characters and what it is you're exactly doing.
Did you talk about the four corners?
The four corners of the...
The four corners of improv?
We did not talk about the four corners of improv, but
or did you
go for? I did not touch on that. I've tried to get started faster.
Environment, character, relationships, and what's the fourth one?
You said environment?
Environment, characters, relationships, and actions.
Actions.
So when you're playing film noir, you kind of take away some of that characterization. You take some away, so you take a little bit of that relationship away, and you're basically talking about what your character's doing in relation to that action that's just thrust upon you. So, now that I talked about the theory, the actual process of the game Film Noir is pretty straightforward. It's two characters on stage, or more, and what they can do is anytime during the game, they can stop, directly address the audience, and fill in with whatever exposition they want. So, for example, two characters could be on stage and talking back and forth saying, I can't believe you killed my dog. I swear I didn't kill your dog. You have no way to prove it. And then he would step to the audience and say, but she could prove it if only she looked at the dog's nose and saw my cocaine there. And then you step back into there and you act like that.
That's canon for the scene.
Yeah, you act like that wasn't
rules.
there. And then that character could suddenly now has a little bit more direction and says, oh, maybe if I look at the dog's nose and I see cocaine there. That is a really weird sentence to say. Yeah, so so when you play those games, in the back of your head, when you're doing large improv, I'm not talking about just Who's Line things, but if you're doing actual small group, lots of improv, you're going to be juggling those four concepts inside of your head. Basically, even subconsciously, you're going to start thinking this is a new piece of information for my character, or my relationship with this character, or the way the plot goes. Film Noir takes away a couple of that, so it kind of really is a good way to hone your skills. So you want to do a couple rounds of that?
We can try that. There might be some tricky things, but I think we'll be all right.
Yeah.
We'll get somewhere.
Totally. And because this is a workshop, I'm not sure, because I missed the whole start of this.
You sure did!
I know, I was out to eat sushi. It was amazing. That sushi place across the street is the best sushi I've ever had.
You didn't bring any for all of us.
Oh, no, because I'm fucking poor. It was $40 a person.
Should I eat?
What? No, it was just
No, I think it's
it was chef's choice.
It's a really good place.
That was the mistake. It was amazing.
We've had people from out of town, they get taken to it's a good place.
Yeah. But yeah, so workshops and I'm not sure if you said this.
Just
but
go ahead. Whatever
if
you
we're
got.
doing workshops, you generally are allowed to stop, back up, and try again. It's kind of like playing New Line.
We haven't really, but a lot of stuff we do here is more quick fire.
Yeah.
But for this, I think that's a, we'll see where that goes, but
So like I
that's a
said,
good thing to keep in mind.
because
You
this
need
is
an undo button, you're welcome
this is
to use
meant
that.
to be kind of a workshop. So who wants to come up and play film noir?
I'd like to make a recommendation that there
No.
are newer people with more experience.
Yeah, who's new here?
Go for it.
You're
Yeah,
new here.
You
Poker,
got
your
poker.
experience. There we go.
We'll just go 2 at a time on this one,
Yeah.
you guys. This is a little bit longer of a scene. We aren't going to go forever. When there's basically the pop, we'll buzz you out.
Yep.
All right. So you understand how it works, though, right? All right. So anyone in the audience, where are they?
They're in a fish cannery.
You're in a fish cannery. And figure. So I haven't given you who you are, what you're doing, or anything. So keep in mind. So the one thing I wanted to challenge the first group here with is we talked about the importance of film noir and acceptance and everything going on here. Keep in mind that the whole thing within the first 2 exercises is establishing what you are and what you're doing very quickly. The audience will get completely lost. Call that mom really quick on like 2 seconds, and now the audience will know what's going on and all the things we talked about before. Make sense? Fish cannery. Feel free to start. You have.
We need to give them their action.
Their action. I was just going to start if you want to get an action, give them an action.
Usually film noir is like they're at this place and then they have this happen.
Usually
There's
trying
2.
to solve a crime.
Yeah.
Like that.
What's the
crime
crime?
gonna solve?
Sure. What's the action? What's the crime? You got one or anyone in the audience?
Murder scene.
Someone stole
They
a
just
tuna.
found a pile of money and they don't know where it came from.
You're at a fish cannery and there's a pile of money. Go.
All right, so we gotta keep deboning these fish so we can shove them in those tiny cans. And what the? That's when I found a giant pile of money. I didn't want to exactly share it, so I'm gonna have to find a way to make sure he doesn't see it. Wow, is that can on fire?
Hey, what do you have there?
Nothing at all.
Little did he know I had my peripheral vision. I caught a flash of green in his hands.
Yeah, I have nothing at all. Nothing to see here at all. Hey, let's just keep going back to canning.
All right, you mind telling me what that green thing was? You do know you're on your last strike with management.
I couldn't let him know about my addiction to basil. It was just, I just can't let that get out there. Okay, man, okay, listen, okay. If you just bypass this, maybe we can, work something out a little bit, huh? Yeah, little bit of basil there, huh?
Little did you know I was deadly allergic to basil. I can't take this.
And why not?
Are you trying to kill me?
I am now.
All right, hold on. I was not expecting that turn.
So that's one of the well fucking job. That was God.
Well fucking job.
Well fucking job. We're an 18+ con. I can swear, God damn it.
You're the guest of honor.
I'm the guest of
And
honor.
this is my hotel.
This is my hotel.
All right, who would like to go next?
Sure, Crimson, get up.
Crimson, get up here.
This is a workshop, guys. If you want to
This is the
have some
opportunity to.
It's okay, he doesn't bite too hard.
That is
that's
statistically
incorrect.
Okay, he bites really hard, guys. You're gonna love it.
New line.
He bites very soft.
New line.
All right.
He
So,
kind of just gums you.
anyone shout out? Where are we?
Train station.
We're at a train station. We're gonna use circus on the next one.
Okay.
Train station. What's the action? What's
Someone stole a locomotive.
There's a missing locomotive in the train station. All right. Film noir. Remember to establish your character, establish what it is, what you're doing, who you are. Film noir. Go.
Gosh, Sergeant, I don't know how they managed to get away with a whole train car. Are those things big?
Well, yeah, but we're on a loading platform here. The locomotive's over there, but no one really sees it because, all you just see is the passenger cars here, so we must have just unhooked it.
How do you think they could manage a thing like that? I mean, you'd have to be some sort of criminal genius or something.
Yeah, I don't really know. I mean, it's really a mystery. But I mean, after all, I did get kind of paid off, so. But he doesn't really need to know that. So.
To feed my growing meth addiction, I've stolen this train car to sell on the black market.
I mean,
gosh, Sergeant,
I mean, who is security for this? What did they do?
Well, so the security guards were 2 cop strippergrams that I had ordered specifically to pose as real persons, but I couldn't let him do that. I don't know. I mean, I think they're gone. I mean, they probably got abducted and taken too. We shouldn't look into it at all.
What about the engineer? Where did he come? Why is it? Was the engineer on lunch break or something? Shouldn't he have been with the locomotive?
Oh no, his name is Stan. He's over there. He's right there. He was so scarred by the incident, he thinks he's a train now.
Oh, wow. Well, I sure hope he has some good health insurance, for mental health issues with this.
I think that he truly thinks and feels that he's a train, and that's why he makes those noises to be a train. We call that locomotive.
Oh my God.
Well done.
That was good.
That was
Locomotive. There's like one-liners that are coming from these panels now that I'm scared of.
He's crazy and he thinks he's a train.
Yeah. Well, that's like, so that last one and the one before, they like, one of the big pillars of comedy is subversion, where you think it's going to go one way and then it doesn't. Like you went from hiding cash in a fish cannery to murdering someone with basil, or like you guys kind of took the whole like the idea of the action being trying to find this train to I'm going to build up for this one-liner pun.
Oh, that was on the fly.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, like when you talk about like one of the things that, especially when you're doing specifically these short fire improvs, you got to think about how to make the. When I keep saying all that like cartooning of things, you got to boil your character down into something you can say in a line or two. You got to boil your action down to something that you can say in a line or two. Your environment, something basic, not something specific. And especially if it's something that like personally is in your area of expertise. There's been a lot of times where people will be like, "You're on a rock star stage." And I know a lot of that because I've been on stage a lot of times, and I might get more complicated because people like I know more about rock stages. I'd be like, "Oh man, look at that stage monitor over there," or "There's par cans hanging over my head." Things that people wouldn't understand. So when you think about your environment, try to boil it down again to a couple lines that people understand. Fish cannery, we put fish in cans. Like you don't need to talk about the specifics of industrial automation equipment to do that. So just like when you try to keep your actions and stuff, keep it to a couple lines and try to keep it within that, and don't try to expand it out more.
There is something I want to comment on. I don't
No,
know if anyone
go for
knows,
it.
but
No.
I could stop button on the line when I was up there in the fish cannery when we were talking.
Yeah.
I reached up and hit something like a button.
Yeah.
I think that if someone is getting very jargony, a great way to subvert that would be, little do you know, this fish cannery was an Amish one.
Right.
Or
Yeah.
this rock show was an Amish rock show.
Yeah.
Amish rock show.
Amish rock show. That was
It's
the name of
little
my-
rocks. They gotta show them off.
There's
All right.
Now the sounds of a horse.
What do you think we should do next? I have a couple ideas.
Yeah, go ahead, man. I stole your battle for the last 20 minutes.
No, it's fine. This is good stuff because we kind of do a lot of different things with this panel. It's sort of kind of what people here kind of want to do. Sometimes they want to hear more things, sometimes they want to do more things.
I just want to listen to more Crimson Red one-liners.
All right.
Okay, the next panel is called the next game is called One-Liners. Crimson, get up here.
All right.
This is just Crimson talking now for the next 15 minutes. Let's go.
Give me like something to work off of.
No.
Seriously.
That is not what we're doing for the next 15 minutes.
Have you ever played Walks into a Bar?
So we're not going to go Egyptian with it?
I know bartender, but that involves singing, and that's a bad idea.
No. You've never played Walks into a Bar? It's an improv game, and it's really, really difficult. You have to make a joke, and what someone does is they yell out an object, or they yell out an object or an animal, and the joke is, so 100 blank walk into a bar, and the bartender says, and then you have to make a pun out of it.
I can do that. All right. Give me some shit.
Yeah.
I'll allow it.
It's a really tough game. I'm sorry.
We're doing like the hardest games ever.
All right. Cows.
100 cows walk into a bar. Bartender looks up, says, huh, had to reach real low for this one.
Yeah.
Cows low.
Yeah.
What, did that joke not move you enough?
No,
You want me to milk this pun for more?
That was
There you go.
Hey, I think you're full of bull. I think it's starting to bring us back to the bar.
Hey.
That's the game.
Yeah, that's the game.
I'm going to teach you bartender.
So throw me something. Potato.
You know
100 potato walk into a bar. Bartender turns away 50 of them because they were spuds.
I kind of go ahead. You should have said because they weren't appealing enough.
Whoa.
I was going to say they all got smashed.
All right.
I think they were all baked, actually.
All right, so I think a game we can do is we can either do 4 corners or 2-line vocab. Do you have a preference?
I like 2's a lower number than 4, so that's probably easier.
I think 4-line vocab is like as you slowly introduce things works best.
All right.
Yeah.
So 2-line vocab. So we've done things with acceptance. We've done things with character building and environments. I know we kind of gone really quick here, but I'm trying to kind of give you a taste of a bunch of different tenets of improv.
And we got panels in 15 minutes.
Anyway,
Or 20.
there's no.
You do, I don't. Or you don't, I do.
What do you mean you do?
I've been on the panels.
Okay.
You're not my only mistress. This gun's run me fucking ragged. I don't have a break until...
Well, you know you're back in here at 3:30, right?
Yeah, I don't have a break until 10.
Oh my god, yeah, I don't know. Okay. All right, so let's do two-line vocab then. So 2-line vocab, I was talking about acceptance and building characters and things. So in this scene, the object of this is that you're going to be limited in what you can say. So we're talking about conveying things in actions and only being able to doing it quickly and with actions in a small amount of. Essentially, you're going to use emotion to kind of heighten the scene and to express what you actually mean because your vocab is quite limited. So this scene is tricky. So there's 2 people that are going to only have 2 lines that they can say, and one person can say whatever they want, but their job is to drive the scene along. So who wants to take on all of these roles are challenging, but the person who's going to be saying lots of stuff, was there someone that really wants to try that? I would, anyone that would, I only have one set of things for this, so who wants to do it?
I mean, I'm down to do it, and I think maybe like.
But if someone new wants to try to do it, I would rather have them try to do it.
Oh, absolutely. Does anyone new want to try it?
Yeah, come over.
Okay, go.
All right. And now, so I need 2 people to basically be the people that are limited in what they can say.
Lasagna hemorrhoid?
Sort of.
Bring in the boyfriends.
We can probably come up with another one if we need to. So who would like to come on up? You want to come on up? You 2. How about you 2?
Yeah. This is a workshop. We're here to
Do you want to come on up for this one? No? Okay. Poker or Crimson? Okay. All right. So, I'm going to eventually need from the audience. Actually, you're going to come up with what it is that they're doing. So like ones that work for this are like we're going to war, we're like we're in the trenches, and you'll see. You have an idea of what this is, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna have you figure out what that is. So 2-line vocab. So let's everyone face the audience. I'm gonna explain to the audience how this works. You're gonna run the scene. Poker. The only things you can say is looks like trouble and wins dinner. Those are the only 2 lines that you can say. You can choose to say them in whatever inflection you want.
Looks like trouble.
Looks like trouble and wins dinner.
Wins dinner.
The only 2 things that you wouldn't
wins dinner.
Zordrak. The only 2 things you can say are what's that and that's inconvenient. Are you starting to understand exactly how screwed you are? So this is the challenge. It's okay if things go wrong. Just try to move the scene along and work with, you're going to be basically trying to monologue your way through the scene and keeping other people involved because they're the ones that are going to cause a pop to the audience. It's funny. What are we doing for...
You are superheroes trying to navigate the Dungeons and Dragons-esque trap to the supervillain's lair.
Make sense?
Looks like trouble.
All right, you get over here.
All right. What do they have? They can say again.
I'll give it to you again. So you got looks like trouble, wins dinner. What's that? That's inconvenient. All right.
So awesome.
One more time,
Repeat the scene again for them, and then we'll go.
You are a superhero
Superheroes.
and 2 sidekicks trying to navigate the traps to the supervillain's lair.
All right, let's go. We know the path to go. Watch your step there.
Looks like trouble.
I just said watch your step, did I not?
That's inconvenient.
That's part of the trap. Just step over it.
Looks like trouble.
Thank you.
What's that?
That's a wall.
Wins dinner.
You just ate 5 minutes before we left.
Looks like trouble.
I told you to bring snacks, did I not?
Wins dinner.
Hey, don't touch that.
What's that?
That's the motion sensor.
Looks like trouble.
I just said don't touch that. You defuse it.
Looks like trouble.
I know, that's why I have my tech expert doing it. Watch out. Electric shocks.
Wins dinner.
I told you to
It's
bring...
inconvenient.
Okay, we're clear. Move.
It looks like trouble. Looks like trouble. Looks like trouble.
It's safe.
Looks like trouble.
I know it looks like trouble, but it's safe.
When's dinner?
That's inconvenient.
What's that?
That's your friend. Come on, let's go.
Looks like trouble.
We know that.
Hold on. That went really well. That went way better than I thought it was. I'm scared now. Oh,
It's all part of the balancing act.
it's all part of the balancing game. But you all work with each other really well, and you see how in that scene, like you really have to work with other people on stage. Otherwise, it's just like you talking the whole time, and you would not feel like that at all. You did really well. All right. Sorry. Oh.
Looks like trouble.
Looks like trouble. All right. Is there another game before you have to go? Is there another game that's really hitting you that you would like to do? Because I was going to do 4 corners, but you have another one that you'd like to impart something on the audience?
I can give some tips on how to do sad improv.
Go for it.
Sad improv?
Feel free, because you said you
Sad or
don't know,
sound
so...
improv?
What?
Did you say sad improv?
Sad.
Oh.
So, you're not going to see this at like Who's Lion. This is like I understand this is mostly a Who's Lion prep course. I kind of guess.
Sort
A
of.
little bit.
It kind of depends on the audience, but
Yeah.
but typically yes.
Yeah. One of the things that we would always do at our troupe at 408 was we'd have it was called the Bummer Week, where we do events that was all sad or dramatic or not specifically funny improv, because improv naturally wants to progress because you're not talking about like deep dramatic characterizations. You're not talking about in-depth environments. You're not talking about complicated, nuanced actions. you tend to, with the simplistic, like cartooning of that, you tend to cartoonify the emotions that come out of it as well. That's why comedy works so well, because comedy is the height of happiness. It works the other way too, and it's just as difficult to try to do more serious or somber improv. But if you are trying to be an actor, you're trying to just do anything like get on stage more, just be more comfortable as a speaker, it's a really good idea to try to do this. And every improv troupe will do some kind of like sad improv day, and it's easy to get, the same thing as with comedy, it's easy to go the other way. It's easy to go really fucking dark immediately and being like, oh man, like in comedy, you might be like, oh man, here's a dog on the road. Oh, I'm gonna go start a bad dragon factory. Like trying to just jump it up like to the top. And then when you're going sad, you might do the same thing. Like, oh, there's a dog on the road. Oh man, I'm gonna push it into traffic.
The music that's playing while you're describing a dog being run over is amazing.
Are you kidding me?
But that's a really good point. Where typically when I've done more dark theaters, we'll call it, it's you basically have to get in character and stay in character, because in improv and in Whose Line, it's really funny when you break that fourth wall to just bust your character and do something completely that doesn't make any sense. But in serious theater, once you've done that, the audience doesn't know what's going on anymore. And they're uncomfortable and it's weird, and usually that's when tomatoes get thrown, and that's usually why I'm not allowed back next week.
Oh man, and it washes out. But yeah, so if you are interested in doing like learning improv more just to kind of hone out your skill set, don't think improv is just a way to learn comedy. Just improv is another tool in any type of like performer, any type of actor, public speaker, any type of person's toolkit. If you want to get with a troupe, try applying the same ideas that you think of when you're talking about comedic improv to more serious or more darker improv, because it will help you with everything you do, even like the comedy stuff. It'll make that better because you understand where emotions can go instead of just always saying cranking it up. Yeah, that's all I got. That's the entirety of my bit. Like, I wasn't expecting to do this panel, so I kind of did it.
Okay. Well,
this is your panel.
Well, I mean, you bring up something interesting though, because there's another form of improv that I would really like to do, but it's very difficult to do at a con, and it's weird. It gets into improv theater. Have you ever heard of a thing called a herald or a herald? It's long form improv. So it's not all sadness. The idea of what a herald is it's essentially you get a group of people together. Someone gives you a very vague topic well, not vague, but like a topic that's quite broad from the audience. Or just something you have, it doesn't really matter. But like for instance, Vietnam, that's the topic of this. And like there's 10 to 15 of you, and you now have to make a 3-act, about 15 to 20 minute thing. So there's like a 5 to 7 minute skit. And basically when everyone basically stands facing the wall, or like basically backstage, but on stage, and you have a couple people come out, like 3 or 4 of them per act, and they make characters on the fly, they make an entire scene. And you do all 3 acts together. Sorry, one, then the other, then the other. And there's an epilogue where everything comes back together. So it could be someone preparing to go off to war, and then the next one you bring in characters that are in the war. Like you almost think of like you've seen the movie Full Metal Jacket, how they kind of have a 3-act thing, but obviously it's a full-length movie. You basically make a movie in a 15-minute thing, and it's a very liberal. Like if you really want to get into improv and feel the one of the coolest things about improv is being on stage and being okay with anything that happens. That's really when you hit the zen of this, right? Where, like, Fur and I have been doing this forever, Crimson's been doing this forever, Poker's been doing this forever, and and Travis too, you've been doing it forever as well.
For like a week.
And
God, we're old.
And once you're comfortable with that, a lot of these other forms you can kind of explore and do whatever. But like the thing that was basically the most enjoyment to me doing this stuff was breaking the inhibition of just getting on stage and doing it. Doing stuff like this through school and whatever, staying after with the drama kids or whatever, getting into more professional type stuff. That moment when you kind of break that wall, or you see, like the most fun thing for me at like Whose Lines is there's going to be someone that gets up on stage every once in a while at the Whose Line, possibly even tonight, which would be awesome. that is really has tons of inhibitions going on, and they get up and manage to get out something that's funny, and it's something they've never been able to do. And like I live with someone who, a sibling of mine, that has a lot of social anxiety. When they have that moment where that breaks, something cool happens for the rest of their life, and that's something I really love about improv. So, well, that was emotional.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bring it all the way down, but...
Look, I've been to band camp once.
I went to summer camp.
Someone
I went to fat camp.
Every time it would be space camp. Someone would always
I want
trumpet
to
with
go to
space
space
camp.
camp as an adult. If I turn 50 and haven't gone to space camp, that's going to be my 50th birthday present. Going to space camp.
I just bought Kerbal Space Program and just pretended it was space camp. All right, so who wants to do another game? Let's do another game. Now, okay, I'll give you guys a choice. We can do 4 corners or we can do questions only.
We do questions only. How about? Oh wait, no, we don't.
You just made it up.
Can we do questions only?
If you want to do, the reason I bring up questions only is because we're talking about character development stuff, and this will kind of let us redo that a little bit. But with the trick of, well, it's questions only, so you need to try to be adding stuff in the scenes and getting stuck in the same question.
It's also the first game that they always play at Who's Line.
It's my least favorite game just because of what I did earlier, where I said, okay, what are you doing? Because that's the first question a lot of people ask, and it's a very dangerous question because it could cause it. You basically are watching someone tumble downstairs the entire time.
Ask
And you can go
questions
down
with a direction.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically
Where
the
did you
point.
get that chainsaw?
Noir.
Right. Yeah, hey Sarah, where did you get that chainsaw? That's a fair question. You always, in the questions, you're always trying to add something into the scene and drive it somewhere else. That's exactly the point. So we can do something like that, or we can play 4 corners, which is sort of playing with this building and bringing things together as well. Which way do we have time to basically do either of those, and that'll kind of be this panel. And of course, if you have any questions. Pick something, anyone, or I'm just going to pick. Let's do 4 corners.
4 corners.
Questions only.
You'll get to see that later.
Oh,
You played 4 corners?
Hey, he's a customer, and customer's always right.
Yeah, get
All
the
right,
experience,
wants to
guys. I'll play 4 corners.
Who would like to play 4 corners? It's we're basically going to do a couple small scenes.
It takes, yeah.
It's already going to play. Come on up, I'll teach you how to do it.
4 corners
I
needs
just
4
need 4
people.
people, particularly those.
If you'd like to go up,
Yeah,
go ahead.
by all
Or
means,
more
Poker
people.
and Crimson will swap out for anyone that
Does anyone else want to come
I
up?
remember this one now.
All right, so you're going to make a square. Pretend it's volleyball class, except there's only 4 of you because that's all we have. All right, so the way that this works is we're going to have a scene. I'm going to be the moderator, and I'm going to, all 4 of you face the audience so that they understand what's going on. You 2 be closer. We're actually standing in a square for a reason. All right, so when I say rotate right, so basically these are the 2 actors that are in a scene. They're in a scene together. If I say rotate right, y'all go, shoop, you're going to come forward, you're going to come this way, you're going to go back, and Crimson's going to take. So rotate right once. All right, and hey, there's another scene happening right here with a brand new topic and completely something else that's going on. And then I'll say rotate right and do the same thing again. Yep. And then here's another scene, okay? And then this is also a scene, but if I say rotate left, you go backwards. So where did I start? Go rotate left one more time to go back to where we were at the start. Okay, so it's otherwise than that, it's a normal scene. You're not restricted to anything, but at any point I can call out rotate whatever. If I say rotate twice, you just rotate right twice, which would basically mean you go twice. Rotate left twice and rotate right twice, the same thing. Anywho, all right. So I need a place. Anyone got a place?
So, the zoo.
The zoo. Okay. What did
Space
you say?
Zoo.
What did you say?
Space at Seoul.
Seoul?
Korea.
We're going to use that.
Korean
So then you are traveling in Seoul, Korea. And the other ones we got. So you 2 are zoo. Your topic is you're at the zoo. Rotate right. You are traveling or something to do with Seoul, Korea. Rotate right. I need a profession or an occupation.
Stand-up comedian.
You're stand-up comedians.
Stand-up philosopher.
Rotate right one more time.
That's the
And this is one of my favorite asks for us from the audience of all time. First thing that someone says, something you find in a trunk that isn't a dead body.
Jack.
Jack? Jack, or a tire.
No dead bodies.
All right. So rotate right. We're going to go through so the audience knows what we're doing. I'm going to stand out of the way of the camera here. What are you two? What's your topic?
Zoo.
Rotate right. What's your topic?
Wandering on Seoul.
Seoul, Korea.
Yep, you're traveling Seoul, Korea. Yep. Rotate right. What are you already doing?
Comedians.
You're stand-up comedians. Rotate right.
Tire jack in the trunk.
And yeah, that's just an object. That's so rotate right one more time. We're gonna have the first one start. All right. I'll just freely call it out as I need to. Go ahead and start your scene.
Okay, I think we go here, we can catch the birdhouse and we can let Indians, and then there's the aquarium for some reason.
So where's the tigers at?
Those tigers, they look like they'd be right there.
So is it?
They'd be
Maybe we should just go there, and then we can get the birds and the aquarium's over here. And
Rotate right.
oh man, that was a long flight. So now I hear they have a really great competitive gaming scene around here somewhere.
Yes, they have bombs everywhere. I can do it.
I mean, I don't really know Korean very well though, so I'm not sure how to ask. How do we ask where that's at?
Maybe put a bunch of sticky notes around, get some advice from some people.
Rotate right.
Alright, so there I was, doing an 8-ball off of an 8 chest, and I have to say that being a comedian is great sometimes. But then, every now and then, when you get off stage, and you got friends crowding around you, and they aren't pretty girls or pretty boys, whatever your proclivities are, sometimes you feel like you're just a fish from such a game.
What?
And that's the joke.
Rotate right. I don't know what the hell that scene was, but that was the greatest question ever.
All right, so where's your tire jack?
It's in the trunk. So, on top of the dead body.
Is that a bottle of Jack Daniels in the back?
No, that is the person Jack Daniels in the back.
That's where he went. Why do you have him there?
Has there ever been a productive answer to the question, why is that dead body in your trunk?
Rotate right. God damn it.
All right, so we're going to hit the tigers, then go to the birdhouse, then.
I really would recommend hitting the tigers. They can claw. I mean, have you seen them bite? I mean, it's not very.
Rotate right.
Okay, so okay. Here's half a sticky note, so you can start putting those around, and let's all put one here.
These are sticky notes.
What, did I get the wrong thing?
The condoms.
Oh, my last joke bombed really badly. What do I do?
Cry. Maybe.
Rotate left. Left. Other way.
Condom soul, go.
Well,
Please tell me you got the right thing this time.
I'll just make the best of it. I mean, we can still put these on.
You're probably good. You can write a little bit, maybe blow them up.
I mean, I get you're kind of into this thing anyways. I mean, so maybe we'll get some bonus points for this one. You know?
Rotate right.
Cry?
Yes, cry.
Cry? That's your answer to everything?
Yes.
Cry? Cry? You perpetuate the stereotype that comics are sad.
I'm sorry.
Rotate right.
All right, so you have the dead body of Jack Daniels with the tire jack on top. Where's your spare tire?
What's your name again, sir?
Jack.
Jack what?
Jack Daniels.
Rotate right.
Okay, you're right. We don't need to hit the tigers. We can go see the tigers and the birds and the amphibians. The aquarium. Just don't go swimming in the aquarium this time.
Oh, you have brought my swimming trunks for nothing?
Rotate left.
Wait. I get it now. I ordered a double.
14 left!
Yeah, that probably didn't work out very well. It's probably, well, I mean, you probably shouldn't have done it on the moon. There might have been a better audience out there.
Fuck you, I got my Netflix special, bitch!
14 left!
Alright, so have you checked in to see if we got any answers yet? Because
No, but I had a couple authorities ask me about the comments lately.
well, I mean, I found this one had a phone number on it. I think they use the same like 7 digits, right?
Right up. 14 left! We're wrapping the scene here.
You remember that the sharks attacked you last time? We don't need that incident again.
But they look so friendly.
Yeah, but there's no lifeguard on duty, remember?
Okay, let's go swim with the dolphins. Okay, they're not as violent, right?
Someone.
I bet here they're pretty intelligent.
14 left. Not as violent, right? Those last things I don't.
I just hit you in the face.
So you really are Jack Daniels.
I am.
Ask for a devil. That escalated quickly.
And scene. Well done. Okay. So that's 4 quarters. So that game's interesting because sometimes there's certain improv games that sort of all the scenes start to blend together, which it still worked out just fine. It's just sometimes when we do that, sort of in like a longer thing usually. There's a few games where all the scenes kind of blend together and it becomes really funny. So I was kind of looking for I was hoping the stand-up comedian thing would have a one-liner somewhere. It was still really funny. I was looking for something and it just didn't happen, but it was still funny. Oh, that's the time basically. Any other questions or anything we want to talk about? We got Wait, Don't Fermi in here in like 20 minutes. There's no one else in here for the next few minutes, but I do have to set up. So anything else you want to talk about? Or thank you very much for coming. I hope it was useful. And thank you very much. I was you said you were new, so I hope that was useful. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you. Booze line is tonight at 6.
I think so, yeah.
6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m.
Yep, and that's the Everyone Get Involved show. So please show off your improv talents.
Get involved, everybody.
Get involved. It's okay to. Okay. What else do I need to check here? Okay.
Silver Gato Man, he bought me a coffee. Silver Gato Man, here is the song for thee. He likes to video all the panels at the cons. You should go and watch them whether they are short or long. Silver Gato Man, you video that's not a jibe. All of you go to his YouTube channel and like and subscribe.